Essentially, majority of enterprise environments have multiple servers, devices, instances of the software components executing the same task for the sake of capacity, right? And one server could be not enough, to deliver required functionality. So you add capacity, you add another server. And the expectation when you have the similar servers, similar devices, similar software instances, your expectation is that they will be configured similarly to provide, consistent results, provide the same results that you expect, from the business system. However, maintaining this consistency is not simple. There are so many configurations out there, and not always the processes are fully automated and fully replicable. So I know an issue happens on the server, and in order to solve that, the administrator rushes and makes a fix and forgets to distribute this fix to other servers. And as a result, you fixed an issue in one place, but it didn't fix in another. And if the workload hits other servers, you still have the same issue. That's just, one example of what inconsistency can create. And this inconsistency that we talk about was in the same environment. But typically, enterprise has multiple environments for the same business system. You have pre-production environments, you have disaster recovery environments, and you want to ensure that the configuration of these different environments is also similar. It will not be the same. Environments are different, but it's similar enough so that the change will reliably move through the life cycle, from testing to production to disaster recovery. This accurate replication or accurate transition of the change, again, is essential for the stability of the systems. And in complex environments with complex changes, it's not easy to maintain this accurate deployment. As a result, drift is created, and the impact of this drift could be, again, stability, compliance, and even security issues. Evolven collects very detailed, extensive information about the configuration state across and within environments, again, from application to infrastructure, from on-premise data center to cloud environments. And having this detailed view in the configuration state, we also have ability to analyze how consistent is the configuration state within the same environment or across environment as well. Essentially, we can pretty much compare, right? And if we have multiple servers that should have the same configuration, we can compare the servers and ensure that they are configured the same. And our analytics engine will look at the differences. And again, it will highlight the most relevant ones that can have negative impact on stability, compliance, and security of the environment. Again, there are so many configurations out there and so many changes that executing this task manually is almost impossible. So generally, if you don't have automated consistency analysis, what are customers doing? They're essentially just waiting for disaster to happen and fixing the disaster. And it's a reactive approach, resulting, again, in impact on the top line and the bottom line. And what we help is to automate collection of this information and consistency analysis, avoiding and preventing drift. And as a result, it's much more operational. These three environments are much more operationally sound and stable. And we help to essentially avoid the issues caused by the drift. Let's analyze consistency of environment configuration using Evolven. I'm in the analysis module, and I'm picking the use case, in this case, environment consistency, that I will apply to the configuration information already collected by Evolven. I will focus on application called Global SharePoint, and I will look for the data for the inconsistencies detected at any point of time. I click Go, and Evolven executes the analysis, showing me the results of the consistency applied to the topology of the application. I can see all inconsistencies detected, or I can focus on risky inconsistencies only, meaning that Evolven applied its risk analysis engine to assess inconsistencies and highlighting the risky ones, the ones that can cause significant impact to the stability, compliance, or security of the environment. So let's focus on these ones. Evolven shows you the details, first of all, by aggregating the data for each of the technology layers comprising the application global SharePoint, and showing you also when these inconsistencies were detected. Some of the inconsistencies are really old, so the system actually continues working. So it could be your decision if you want to remediate them or you want to focus on the fresh inconsistencies introduced over the last week. Let's look at the inconsistencies related to IAS. At the bottom part in the table, we see the details of these inconsistencies. So for particular IS server, for a particular application, web application, a specific difference was detected. And we see that the details of this difference, what is the parameter and where, in which value the difference or inconsistency was detected. We also see visually the inconsistency in the consistency column. Each box represents an environment compared, environments of where the configurations are compared by Evolven. So these environments have similar configuration. We see that all of the boxes are green, except for one. That's where the inconsistency was detected. We can click on the consistency boxes, and Evolven will show also which values were identified, which configuration parameter values were identified for each of the servers, and where the differences is. You can clearly see that the connection string is different for one of the servers. You can also see the details, the comparison of the details in greater details by looking at the specific differences highlighted by a string comparison. Now, identifying this inconsistency, you can take an action. You can create a change request asking to remediate this inconsistency. You can open a ticket to investigate this inconsistency. Or again, if you are integrated with, if Evolven is integrated in your environment to automation tool, deployment automation, infrastructure automation tool, Evolven can actually generate the required artifacts that will remediate the inconsistency. And this integration includes integrations to tools like Puppet, Chef, Ansible, and other similar tools. The data about the consistency of the environments could be aggregated in the dashboard. So for example, we'll look at the application state dashboard, where right now we focus on the application that we reviewed, global SharePoint, and we see that the KPI, the change KPI called production consistency, is red, and indeed there is a list of high-risk inconsistencies. The information about the drift, about the inconsistencies can also be provided through reports, where you can define a consistency report, again, and it's called internal consistency, applying to global SharePoint, and this report is sent daily at 8 o'clock on all the new inconsistencies detected in the past 24 hours.